Hey guys, so today we are doing this video to give you guys an update on what has been going on.
So we want to make this video because we mainly want to spread awareness.
Given the platform that we have, at first we did not want to make this video.
But like at the same time, this needs to be addressed because we want to make sure that for the people that aren't taking it serious, you need to start taking it serious.
We wanted to let you guys know that my mom is currently in the ICU and is currently intubated. And if you guys don't know what that is, the ICU is the intensive care unit. And when we say intubated, we mean there is
a tube down her throat to help her breathe. Started about 2 weeks ago, 14 to 17 days ago. She started having symptoms.
Flu-like symptoms.
Yeah. So when she seen her primary physician, she gave her just Mucinex and some antibiotics and sent her on her way. And didn't test for the COVID test, even though she was having no symptoms when she completely could have.
So a couple of days after that, she felt like she still wasn't feeling good. So we told her to go to the ER. And her symptoms when she came into the ER said that she was shortness of breath, she had dry cough, body aches. And yeah, so, you know, she went ahead and let them know what her symptoms were. And they just did an x-ray, a chest x-ray, and obviously they didn't see anything. So they sent her on her way with just steroids and an inhaler. And you know, they just said, you know, if you're still not feeling well or whatever, come back to the ER. So the next day, obviously, I checked on her and she said that, you know,
it was working.
She felt like it was working.
She felt better, like it was working.
And I was like, okay, good. You know, just keep on continuing to, you know, take your fluids. Just make sure you stay inside.
But her cough got progressively worse.
And that was Tuesday of last week.
Yeah.
So Saturday, I remember my dad called me around like 8 o'clock a.m. and he told me that he had to take my mom to another ER. And he explained to me that he tried to, you know, help her with her meds and stuff. She was just not making sense. She was mumbling. She said that she wanted to go to the bathroom, but she was just really weak.
Really weak, and she was altered a little bit.
Yeah.
She wasn't making sense. And then so by the time he got her to the hospital, they noticed right away that her oxygen saturations were low. We had no clue about this
until my dad called me at around 8 a.m. and he took her to the ER about 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Also, unfortunately, my dad wasn't able to be there with her because they're being very, very strict at the moment. No visitors, no anything. So they had to send him, on his way. After that, we just been calling every day just to get an update on how my mom was doing.
Every 8 hours.
It was crazy because when my dad told us about, oh yeah, I think she was like intubated, and he just didn't really sound so sure.
He didn't know the medical terminology, so we think like, okay, she's just.
We're like, oh no, she can't be intubated. No. So that's when we called the ER just to get more clarification because, you know, we just wanted to see what was going on. When we called, it looked like it was true. Yeah, my mom was intubated, and that's when I just broke down and cried.
And that's when we realized it was real.
Because if you guys don't know, Dario and I, we both work in a hospital, and we see intubated patients like almost every day. But it's just different when you see your family or your loved one in that predicament, and it's just not a pretty picture at all. So that really hit all of us hard.
Super hard. And the worst part is none of us could see us. None of us could see her.
No.
Like, you know, as much as like your family is like, you know, an intensive care unit, you know, you want to be there for her. We just wanted to be there and we couldn't.
All we could do is just call, and, you know, like I said, we do work in the hospital and we know how the process goes. So as much as we want to call like almost every hour and see how she's doing, we know how it is. So, you know, we try to give the nurses and doctors as much space as we can in order for them to work on my mom, and, you know, just try to call maybe every couple of hours just to get, you know, updates. So that was Saturday, and today obviously is Wednesday. And these past couple of days, they said that she has been stable. As of right now, she is depending on the vent to help her breathe. Today, we just got news that my mom is positive for COVID.
Which is the coronavirus. But we have great nurses, you know, and we have great doctors, and they're doing everything they can.
Also, for the past couple of days before we even found out that she tested positive, the nurses have been telling us that they were treating her like she was positive to get a head start. So they just been doing all they can to keep her breathing and doing whatever they need to do. Personally, it just really sucks, just because I'm also worried about my dad because he's been around my mom.
And on top of that, he's probably stressing out because he's alone. He can't leave.
He's alone. He's in the house. Obviously, nobody can visit him, because if my mom tested positive, that means
that he most likely
there's a possibility he's also positive as well.
Yeah.
It's been really hard for my family and I. At this point, I just want her to be better, but I know that all this just takes time. And like I said, I'm just worried about my dad. I call him every day. I ask him every day, like, how are you feeling? And all that stuff. So, but he's doing okay. He's trying to keep his head up. I never in a million years would have thought that, obviously, any of my loved ones would be in this predicament right now. It all started from just a regular flu-like symptoms. And if you guys know my mom, she's such a germaphobe. Like, she literally, like, huge germaphobe. But by the end of the day, I mean, that doesn't really matter, because if you're around people, it doesn't even matter anymore, because it's like, you know, you can be around a potential person that might have it.
It's just important that, like, when you go out, not only you're protecting yourself, like, especially if you go out and see like a loved one, an older loved one, just have a mask around yourself, because you just don't know that you could have it. We don't have enough tests to see who all has it. Just make sure you get social distance to take that very serious, you know. There's so many different situations going on in America with different people, so like if they have to actually see their spouse, the lovers, the grandma, the grandparents, you know, just make sure, just take the precautions, because we don't want any of this or any of these feelings to happen to any of you guys.
My mom right now is fighting for her life in the ICU. And, you know, a lot of people out there are really thinking like this is like a game. It's not. Like, we're living proof that this can happen to anybody. The thing is that it's like when you're surrounded by people that can potentially have it, this is what happens. There's people out there like my mom that are fighting for their lives right now. And, you know, there's people out there that do have it or whatever, but they're not feeling any type of symptoms. Please just practice social distancing. And if you need to go out or whatever, just make sure that you're always washing your hands, that you're at least like masked up, that you're doing what you need to do to stay away from people. This whole COVID stuff or whatever, they're finding new things out like almost every single day.
Yeah. And things are changing every 6 hours, so this is so new to us, so to everyone. It's so new to everyone. So we just have to take the precautions before it gets worse. And we obviously see how Italy is. You know, we just don't want that to happen here. It takes all of us to take these precautions so that none of that happens, you know, to any of you guys.
It all starts with us. Like we said, we work in a hospital. We work with nurses, we work with techs, we work with engineers, we work with doctors, CNAs, EVS workers that clean up after, like, you know, patients leave the rooms. Everybody that we work with in the hospital is frontline, okay? So to help everybody in the hospital, to help just everybody in general, just please stay home. Please practice social distancing. Like, this stuff is no joke. Like, you guys just, there's so, it's so sad that like people are literally out there still partying. People are literally out there just not caring. Just do what you have to do. Stay at home. Like, it's really, I mean, I understand, like, sometimes it gets boring, sometimes it's whatever, but just know that you're helping so many lives by just staying at home.
Yeah.
At this point, all we're asking from everybody is prayers, not only for my mom, but for everybody that is going through hard times at the moment, because I feel like the power of prayer can help so much, and to also just stay positive. I feel like my mom is such a fighter. She'll get through this.
We love you, Mom. We love you. We pray we make it through this.
As of right now, we're just taking it day by day. It's been really, really hard these past couple of days.
Because we want to see our family, like we want to see the immediate family, but we can't because we're supposed to stay away from each other. Like we would love to go see her dad, who was just alone,
In the
but
house.
we can't.
Minutes just feel like hours. Days feel like weeks. And it's just been so hard. Like, especially since I'm pregnant, like I try to stay so strong.
And I'm proud of you because, you know, she's been strong as much as she can.
I've been trying.
Like, you know, as far as for being pregnant, because I tell her, like, try not to stress yourself out. But this is, I mean, it's the hardest to tell you, so don't stress out when your mom's intubated in the ICU in general. And then, you know, after her hearing her family, you know, kind of break down, that's what took her, you know, that's when she had her breakdown point, because she tried to stay strong for them, but you know, it's hard. We just want to make awareness. That's the purpose of this message, because it happened to us and we don't want it to happen to any of you guys.
Just make sure to take this seriously.
Wash your hands all the time.
Practice social distancing, all that stuff. And if you do need to go, because I know obviously some people still need like groceries here and there, just make sure you just protect yourself. We'll give you guys an update on my mom, you know, whenever we can. But as of right now, she is currently stable. She's just doing a tiny bit better each day.
Each day.
So that's what we're doing. We're just trying to take everything day by day. And yeah, we love you guys and hope you guys are staying safe out there, and make sure you guys take care of yourselves.